Brilliance Audio presents Sing the Four Quarters by Tanya Huff, performed by Nicol Zanzarella.
Was it something I said?
The innkeeper laughed as the young woman continued her headlong dash out the door, ignoring him completely. Lifting a slab of fried ham off the grill and onto an already full plate, he slid the pile of food across to his other overnight guest.
Kids these days, you just can't make 'em understand that if you sit up all night drinking, you pay for it in the morning.
The burly wool merchant lowered his tankard, wiped the ale foam off his mustache, and dug into his breakfast with enthusiasm.
Used to be,
he said around a mouthful of fried potatoes.
I could empty a good half-barrel on my own and never feel it, but these days...
He sighed and speared a pickled onion.
I remember when my youngest brother got joined, the hangover nearly killed me. I was seeing cross-eyed for 3 days.
Wine, declared the innkeeper sagely.
Don't get that kind of a hangover on ale.
The merchant snorted.
Depends on how much you drink.
The story that followed probably contained as much wishful thinking as accuracy, but it was well enough told that the innkeeper rested his forearms on the counter and settled in to enjoy it. No point fixing more food when the only person around to eat it was still dumping her evening into the privy. Annice spit the last of the bile out of her mouth and straightened, brushing damp strands of short, dark blonde hair up off her forehead with the back of one hand. Her face felt clammy. No surprise, she muttered, sagging sideways against the rough plank wall. All things considered. Perfectly willing to pay for a night's excess, she considered it entirely outside the circle to be so sick when she'd only had water and a little soft cider to drink. She hadn't overindulged. Overindulged? I haven't even indulged. For about a month now, because the smell of anything containing alcohol was enough to send her racing from the room. In fact, the memory of the smell. Stomach heaving, she bent over the hole again. A few moments of painful, dry retching later, she lifted her head. All right, she panted, stepping back. If I don't shake this bug by the end of the week, I promise I'll see a healer. With a shaking hand, she dumped a dipper of ash into the privy and fumbled at the door latch. A cold wind roared across the courtyard and ripped the door out of her grasp. Reluctantly stepping out into the weather, she'd thrown on barely enough clothes for decency and not nearly enough for warmth. She grabbed the door with both hands and fought to close it behind her. The wind fought back. Frowning, Annice peered around the edge. A thin and sharply pointed face, stormy gray eyes the most well-defined point in the shifting features, hung in the air over the wind-sketched outline of an elongated body. A wide, nearly lipless mouth opened in silent laughter as long, pale fingers clung to the boards. "Kai," Annice muttered. "Just what I needed." Running her tongue over cracked lips, she whistled a series of 4 piercing notes. Its expression clearly stating, I didn't want to stay longer anyway. The Kai let go of the door and rode the wind out of sight. The privy door, now pulled in only one direction, slammed shut. Shit! Sucking on her pinched finger and wrapping the other arm around her for warmth, Annice staggered toward the inn. I remember when I used to like mornings.